General Nerdery.
General nerds, generals of nerdery, nerds are making podcasts. I had more and I forgot all of it. Damn it.
I was really, really hoping you were going to go some variation of that for today's episode.
Hold on, I have it. What was it? Oh, yeah. Change into generals of nerdery to make podcasts about liking things. It was very slow at work today, guys. I had time to work on this.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm really glad you did, because I did not, so.
Anyways, welcome to General Nerdery. We're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zac.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Tyler.
And Tiffany. Yep, and I was going to say, and
should
today we
should
have
we do
a
that?
guest
Let's do that again.
Which is the first
Let's
time
do that again. I didn't know.
that I would have just rolled with it.
We could do it again, but I'm going to leave in this version. So.
Okay, then I suppose we keep rolling.
Okay, we're just going to keep on going. Sorry, guys, this is the first time that we've been able to do a conversation with a guest since we're all on quarantine, which works out great because Tiffany actually lives in a different state, and we were able to bring her in. So that's fun. That's exciting for all of us.
Huzzah!
Anyways, Tiffany, why don't you hit us up with some of your nerd credentials?
So I grew up watching anime. I remember like 5 or 6 in like the very, very early mornings and seeing like Fushigi Yugi on some weird channel, right? And then like really liking it, but not really understanding how many naked people were in it. And I think my mom was appalled. But also, I grew up with Pokemon, right? Like I had that Costco Pokemon Red Game Boy pack. And then my cousin introduced me to Sailor Moon, and there's a ton of Digimon in it too. So I've been into anime from a young age. I do a lot of cosplay. I play Valigarth, and I just recently, as of like the quarantine, started to game. Unless you want to count like Gunbound and Puzzle Star Sweep and like the Chow Garden.
I mean, those still technically count.
I don't game, so I only understood some of that.
Yeah, so I'm currently playing Final Fantasy XIV, which has so much cosplay potential, and then Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I think I'm the only person who owns a Switch who isn't playing Animal Crossing.
It's a different kind of grind, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't even own a Switch, so I haven't been on it. I've just been hearing everybody in the world talk about it, so...
Watching a stock market develop has been really fascinating, and someone's just like, I just lost 1 million shells, and it took me a minute to figure out what they were talking about on that.
Yeah, no, the stock market is well, especially like since now... Like, this is the first Animal Crossing I've played, right? So I guess the stock market has been around for a while. But in this day and age, when we have, like, Facebook groups and Discords and such, like, the system has definitely been broken. And so all the patches start to address some of the stuff that has happened. So, the most recent patch, you used to be able to, like, if you have really good, like, turnip prices, you could time skip backwards and save that time for a longer period of time. And then your friends would just time skip to like a Sunday and buy their turnips and go back and forth a few times. But now, as of that new patch, if you time skip backwards at all, your turnip price is reset. And then if you time skip like backwards and you have turnips, then they rot, which then brings their value down to 0. So.
Video game economies are always amazing because it takes gamers no time at all to find every possible way to break
and then
them.
Some people have like data mined like the formula, and they've come up with like charts and like spreadsheets and apps that will predict like all of the options of prices that you might get simply based on like the first day that you buy your turnips on your island, and then like subsequent prices afterwards. Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane. And then like being in like big groups and like you get a chance at like everyone's turnip numbers.
Okay.
And so
that's intense. I used to buy low, sell high on the old Guild Wars economy, but this just sounds insane.
Well, and with everyone quarantined, people have even more time to get into this. Like, that's really what Animal Crossing needed.
Wow. Well, have fun with that.
Yeah, that sounds stressful to me, but apparently people find it relaxing.
I don't find it relaxing, but I do find it a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's what matters.
that sounds kind of like a pretty natural segue into what are we all ingesting this week?
Tiffany, you're our guest. How about
so
you first?
I am ingesting a lot of Animal Crossing, and then I started my first D&D campaign in like me actually playing D&D. I've only done like one off before this, and someone else created my character, and I had a lot of fun. And so this time I got to create my own character, and like this DM is like really big into like backstories and stuff, and so I created some flavor text, and then he like sent me a lot of questions, and so we did our first day of it like over the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. But it is a lot to kind of take in, especially since like this group has been playing with each other for like 15 years or so, I think.
Wow.
I mean, like upwards of like a decade, right? And so they've been playing together a while, and so like me coming into this group, like especially being brand new, I kind of thought it'd be best to create a character that was very similar to just me, so that I had less to think about when it came to the aspect of like
classic intro gaming.
And so so I'm going on this adventure into this foreign land. It's wonderful.
So what did you make? What are you?
I am a Triton.
Ooh.
I
don't know what that is.
I guess they're like a deep sea kind of folk thing. Okay,
yes, I know what we're talking about.
So like I'm not very tall, and so like I created a character and we didn't do anything with it because then the group didn't get together. But she was an elf and I was like pretty tall and stuff. And so then Tritons on average are 5 feet, and I was in there like, God damn. Like I'm 5'1", right? So I was like, I refuse to be any shorter than I already am. But yeah, so that's a ton of fun right now. We're actually picking it up again tonight. So we're using Roll20, as well as D&D Beyond. So that's super cool.
And
nice.
You're playing what, 5th edition?
It's very unknown for me. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Probably 5th edition. It's the most recent one coming out.
I was about to say, with a Triton right off, probably 5th edition.
Oh, God, I've never played any of those because I spent a bunch of money on D&D books like 15 years ago, and I'm just too fucking cheap to like upgrade again.
Yeah, and I think this group has a ton of books too, but like they're just, I mean, their general nerdery is also high. We do a lot of like board games and stuff. So yeah, and I'm really into Final Fantasy 14. It's their MMO. We did a primal boss fight last night, and it was the most intense thing that I had ever done. It was like to the point where like our healer and our DPS died, and then I'm a DPS and I was stuck in a rock, and so our tank had to go break me out of the rock, and I think like the primal and I were both down to like our last shots. And everyone was just screaming, and it was so intense. And I was like, I have to log off now and watch a movie and decompress. But that was so much fun.
Nice.
14's one of the MMO ones, right? Like, I'm assuming based off that story. But, God, I am so behind on my video games.
That does sound like a lot of fun. Zach, how about you?
Well, let's see. I don't have a ton of new stuff because it's been a whole lot of finishing up. Like, I've been talking for the last like month about listening to the audiobooks of The Belgariad and The Malorian by David Eddings. I finished that yesterday. There's a couple of side books that I'm going back and forth on. I picked up Stephen Fry. I've recommended it before. He did a book called Mythos, where it was just Stephen Fry telling Greek stories through a Stephen Fry lens. So it's very snarky British. And he did a second book called Heroes that is the same thing, but just emphasized more on the like Greek heroes, which I just started today. And then I have started a comic that I've been meaning to read for a couple of years now called Skull Kickers, which connects pretty well because it's pretty much what if a D&D adventure was a comic book.
Nice.
And it's kind of two terrible people, and they don't even really have names. There's a dwarf that they call the Short One, and a large man who they call the Bald One. And they're awful people.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really good. If you like D&D, Skull Kickers would be a very fun book to read in the, oh my god, I miss D&D that's going on.
Yeah, I've been thinking about D&D all week, so it's really funny that it's just getting brought up a bunch. But I have nothing D&D related myself to actually add in, but other than I've been thinking about it all week.
No, yeah, I think about it pretty constantly. Sundays were my D&D every week, and we haven't tried online gaming yet, but damn, I miss my group. I miss the group dinner we do. I miss the really terrible at following the plots that we are. Because it's a bunch of people that like each other too much, so we just like get distracted making each other laugh as opposed to finishing any campaign, and it drives the DM nuts. And I know that because I am the DM half the time. What about you, Tyler?
Oh, let's see. Not a lot. I don't know. I was going really hard with actually reading some comics in the past couple weeks, and that almost ground to a complete halt this week as I just couldn't get my nose out of the news enough with everything going on. I was able to distract myself a bit. I've been going just stupid hard and grinding out different skins and fashion in Mortal Kombat 11, as well as still trying to unlock all the different endings for all the characters, which is taking a while because I'm using the character towers rather than the classic tower. Let's see. I did read some new comics yesterday, though. I'm going to start in on the Grant Morrison Seven Soldiers of Victory soon, so I wanted to warm myself up a little bit with some Morrison, so I read his first story arc on JLA Confidential, or JLA Classified.
Oh, with Ed McGuinness in it. That was like his quiet launch to Seven Soldiers, I want to say.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything good to say about that run, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really weird, and I like really weird. It's hard to think about
Morrison
sometimes.
Around 2005.
That's kind of fun. So.
Wow, that book is like 15 years old now. I feel old.
But I think. Oh, and I started rewatching Bleach so I could finally finish off the anime before they finally start doing the final story arc, since that was announced like a month ago.
Oh yeah, on the topic of anime.
That's
Sorry,
still going.
No, you go.
Sorry, go ahead. No, that was it. Just holy crap, Bleach is still going.
Kind of.
In the way that like Naruto is like still going, right?
Right. Well, it's funny because I was going to bring it up as news like a month ago because there was a ton of rumors, and then I missed the point when the rumors became actual news. But the anime had been canceled before they were able to adapt the final story arc of the manga, which apparently gets fucking insane. But they just announced that they're going to finally adapt that final story arc, so I'm super excited.
They just finished their first season, I think. I'm pretty sure. It seems like a season finale, even though there's only 11 episodes, which is a very odd number for anime. But Darwin's Game, I am really enjoying. I'm usually someone who's like too much of a weenie to watch like Goblin Slayer or Attack on Titan, or unsettling, and so I watched the first 2 episodes and people were dying and I like had a meltdown, and my boyfriend just goes, "It's called Darwin's Game." Like, what did you expect? What did you expect? No, this is true. But I really like it. It's the premise is, it's really odd where basically if you download this app called Darwin's Game or D Game, and you open it, then you basically get registered into this, I don't want to say alternate reality, but this secret aspect of the current world that you live in, and so you still interact with regular humans and such, but you have these extra kind of circles that you are now integrated in, and then when you die, then your body pixelates and falls into the ground. So it's non-D game players are thinking that it's just street art and such. And then and you make a shit ton of money basically playing it, which is kind of the appeal that a lot of people have gone. But then they also have to address some people are in it because they just are sociopaths and they just are there to kill people because they like it, right? And like the first
Right.
primary antagonist, like as he kills people, he pickles their fingers and then he makes his guys eat it, and it was extremely unsettling. But like we know that he's not really in it for the money.
Right. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And then Shokugeki Food Wars, just after their fifth and final season.
Is that the one where if they have food so good that
Yeah,
like people are
it's where they
orgasming over
animate
it?
the foodgasm, and it's kind of like Master Chef, but school, but animated, and it's so good. Like I promise that there's a
Wow.
lot of substance past the first few episodes where like they really like give you a lot of fan service. And the food.
Roar, who was on our Legend of Zelda episode, swears by this show.
Oh,
He is just obsessed with it.
I'll keep it in mind.
But yeah.
Like, I read superhero comics, and anime is balls to the wall
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
to me. Like, it's...
Let me think of something that's really just wacky that I watched recently. I mean, Fruits Basket is doing a remake, and they're on their second season, and that's where like if you're part of the Zodiac and a member of the opposite sex gives you a hug, you transform into your animal.
Oh,
Holy shit,
Yeah,
I
and then,
remember
like-
Fruits Basket. I haven't thought of that since I was like 16.
And then I remember like a lot of Ranma 1/2 where Ranma becomes a girl in like hot water, is it? Was
I
it
think
cold
it's
water?
Cold water becomes
Yeah,
a girl,
and then his
hot
dad
water
becomes a
becomes a boy
panda.
again. And then it
Yeah.
gets weirder, because like there's this entire park of like spring of drowned girl, spring of drowned duck,
Yeah.
spring of drowned panda. And there's one character that falls in like 6 or 7 different springs and just turns into like
Yeah.
a chimera monster.
No, it's
as you do.
Yes,
yeah.
as one does.
And then I am excited.
That's how I look like this.
Oh,
Wait, and then there's a new Rurouni Kenshin live action coming out that I'm really excited about. I haven't watched the first 3, but I've heard that they are really good. But also, I recently found out that my cousin's fiance worked on the set, and my cousin actually got to go with her to Japan to kind of
Oh.
wander around. So that was super cool. So now I'm obviously more invested to watch it.
that's fucking awesome.
But the nice thing about Rurouni Kenshin, in my opinion, being translated into live action is like Japanese people, like, they know how to do good samurai movies, right? And so,
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin, like, while there is some like wacky flavor stuff, like when he learns his master's like secret sky cutting technique, for the most part, he's just a swordsman.
With
yeah.
the reverse blade sword. God, that show was so cool.
So
Yeah.
Oh my god,
so
you're making me
good,
want to watch anime
yes.
again.
Yeah, I had to school up some of the kids I work with on some Rurouni Kenshin the other week. So I was like, you guys haven't heard
Go
of this?
check it
Go
out."
check it out. Look how cool this reverse blade sword
This
is.
kid at the salon asked me, he was like, well, like, do you know what Full Metal Alchemist is? And I was like, bitch, I have a tattoo.
Oh, God,
that's
I'm
fun.
trying to think of how I got into anime. It was mostly Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z in my case. And then
Really, just interjecting really quickly into Dragon Ball Z before we move on. Gohan's first date was supposed to launch the day that 9/11 happened, and I was 6, right? And so, like, I was really young, I didn't understand what was going on, but I do remember feeling so sad that I couldn't watch his first date with Videl. And not understanding why I couldn't.
Priorities. It's the important
I
things.
remember desperately flipping through the TV that day, trying to find something, and finding, I think, Pokemon being on. And I was old enough that I wasn't really watching Pokemon anymore, but just desperately being like, I need something that's not 9/11. Yes, this is great. I'll be the very best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
don't
on
remember.
that dark note,
On that, yeah, we can go right into the news, right? Let's see. That is, I mean, I actually managed to stay away, I think, mostly from, like, COVID news this week, so
Oh, real quick, I do have a thing on this of kind of a correction of something I said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
When you announced San Diego Comic-Con had been closed, I was just like, God damn it, why don't people just admit everything's canceled? Blah, 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 blah. Complain, just admit it. And I got a message from Will, who was on our Pokemon episode, who pointed out to me that a lot of people know they're going to cancel, but they have to wait for insurance reasons until a lot of the times that the venue's like, no, you need to cancel. Because if they just cancel, they lose a ton of money and will probably go out of business. So
That's what Fanime had to deal with.
Yeah, so I was being a little unfair there. That's all. I just, credit where it's due, I was being an ass.
That works. Actually, my first two news stories are also actually tying back to things we've already talked about a little bit. After, I think it was just last episode, we were talking about Marvel not putting out anything new. They've announced that they're going to start publishing again later this month.
I heard another thing that was saying it was bumped back to July.
Oh, well, either way, since Diamond is going to start doing stuff again, it sounds like Marvel's going to be right on that train for putting stuff out at the same time.
Yeah, that's... Like all things involving COVID and the economy, I don't like it because I think we're doing it too early, but I also understand people who are freaked out about their livelihood.
Right. And, I mean, that's the thing. If nothing else, it's going to get a couple more paychecks in the hands of some of these creators that we like that have not been able to create as much for Marvel since everything has been halted. So,
yeah. Ugh.
The other update was one that you actually made sure to point out to me, and it's the Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, we had talked about Kickstarter had formed a union.
Which was a big deal, being one of the first, like, tech unions, basically. Well, it's a good thing they did. I have their entire little statement here in front of me. I'm not going to read it all out. But basically, they formed that union earlier in this year, and just 2 months later, COVID hit. About 40% of the Kickstarter employees were going to be laid off. Without the union, they were going to get kind of jack shit as severance. And now they're getting 4 months severance pay, continuing healthcare coverage, depending on a little bit of things, depends on how long you get it. But recall rights for a full year. If the eliminated position becomes open again, they can come back in, that sort of thing. And what else do I see? And it looks like a release from the non-compete and modification of some of the non-solicitation clauses that they have to sign and stuff. So
that one is huge. Tech is really bad about doing non-compete clauses, which I'm wildly against, just as existence. And so getting rid of that non-compete clauses means a lot of people who lost their jobs for things that were not their fault might be able to get jobs elsewhere in their field still.
Absolutely. That's the big standout from this. Like, I'm glad they're getting a bunch of other things too, but as far as tech goes, that is almost unheard of. So, But anyway, yeah, that's sort of a follow-up. Like, that just ended up being really good for them, and I'm super happy about it. So, how much do you guys know about the Donkey Kong world record?
Like King of Kong?
Yes, like King of Kong.
This is the first
I watched... Go ahead. Okay, so there's a documentary that you really need to watch then called King of Kong. And it's about the competition to beat the world high score for the original Donkey Kong arcade game.
Yeah.
And it is weirdly hardcore.
Yeah, there's intense old school video gaming community, and this is I mean, if anything, it's only gotten more intense. The documentary was from 2007. It documents the struggle between Billy Mitchell, who is actually super famous in the old retro gaming world because he has done things like a flawless Pac-Man run. He was the first person to hit 1 million plus points in Donkey Kong. And it's him versus this up-and-coming challenger, Steve Wiebe. A bunch of drama ensues, accusations of cheating, this and that. Well, 2 years ago, did you hear what happened, Zach?
Yeah, Billy Mitchell got banned for life because he's a giant asshole.
Yeah.
Also because he cheated or something like that. I don't remember that part, but I was not surprised by any of it.
Yeah, they can't 100% prove that he cheated, but they can not replicate any of his results. And so now he's suing Twin Galaxies in a defamation suit for calling him a cheater and taking away all of his titles and stuff.
Well, that's basically how he was making his money, because apparently you can somehow make a living these days off of being the Donkey Kong World Champion.
I hope he loses. He's a bit of an asshat, but I really like the fact that the drama from The King of Kong just continues to this day, because that documentary is enthralling.
It's kind of like how people describe Tiger King to me, because I still haven't seen Tiger King, but a lot less methy and murdery.
Yeah, no, that's a really good explanation of it. It's a lot like Tiger King, except less animal abuse, less meth, less murder.
Well, and what was the name of the up-and-coming guy? You mentioned it, and
Wiebe?
I've already forgotten it 30 seconds later.
Steve Wiebe, who I believe currently owns the record, still.
My favorite part of that was Steve Wiebe, who, like, he got fired, and he had always been a fan of Donkey Kong, so he just, while trying to find a new job, picked up the hobby of playing Donkey Kong again, and, like, ended up in these tournaments, and just seemed like a relatively nice, down-to-earth guy that was super confused about everything that was going on around him.
Yeah, that was pretty much Steve Wiebe. Since the documentary, I know that there's been I believe a Japanese man has sort of, I don't have his name in front of me, unfortunately, but he ended up taking it for like half a year before Wiebe ended up having to take it back. But
it is fascinating to me. I love any part of the nerd world that gets super intense that I'm not necessarily part of, because you can just watch in like the world's weirdest reality shows.
Yeah. Oh man, that documentary, highly
King
recommend.
of Kong.
King of Kong, fistful of quarters.
Oh god, I forgot about the addendum.
Okay, I kind of lied when I said I was over COVID news, although this is more not directly. It's Fallout type stuff. We tend to focus a little bit more on genre, but this sort of affects the entire pop media landscape. The Oscars are having some major changes this year.
Oh?
Due to COVID. I think a lot of people don't realize what a movie actually has to do to qualify for the Oscars.
Pay a lot of money?
Kind of. But another one of the requirements is that it has to have a week-long run in either New York or LA. And theaters are shut down, which means all of these movies don't qualify.
Oh yeah, because this was their, like, anti-Netflix crusades, pretty much, wasn't it? I remember reading about this once.
Yeah. Well, no, and these have been in place for a while, and it's been really weird. There's also even less known rule is, like, the movie has to have been reviewed in either the LA Times or the New York Times. But they're changing all the eligibility because otherwise nobody'd be getting Oscars this year.
The Oscars all go to this one movie that came out
Just give it to
in
Parasite.
early January. We got nothing.
So now the requirements are films that were scheduled for theatrical release that meet the other eligibility requirements and are made available for Academy members to view on the organization's members-only streaming service within 60 days of being made available on a publicly available streamer will be in the running. And that mostly just surprised me to learn that Academy members have their own streaming service.
You're like, wait a minute, y'all rich people get to watch movies for free?
Right? I want in on that
The
Academy streaming
Oscars are
service.
so fucking weird.
But this ties into the next big thing. With some movies now going to a straight video-on-demand release, Trolls World Tour made all of the money.
Yes.
What?
In 3 weeks, it made something... Oh, let me see. I have it. Okay, so in 3 weeks, Trolls World Tour made $95 million in rentals, which is
Holy shit.
3 times more than the first Trolls made in its first 5 months in theaters.
Listen, Trolls is a good movie. Kids still really like it. They still watch it.
But
Man, there were some bored-ass children that they desperately needed to keep
Yeah.
entertained.
well, this gets crazier. Because of that, AMC Theaters has said that they will not carry any more Universal movies in their theaters.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear something about this. So Universal, looking at the fucking money cow that they just discovered of going straight to streaming, because let's be honest, as much as the theater experience is kind of fun sometimes, it is a super broken system that's just ridiculously expensive. Universal was like, we'll still put stuff in theaters, but we're going to go straight to streaming as well. And AMC, who is already just wildly in the hole in money, lost their shit.
Okay.
Yeah, AMC Entertainment President and CEO said that they will no longer play any Universal movies in any of our theaters. This policy affects any and all Universal movies per se, goes into effect today and as our theaters reopen, and is not some hollow or ill-considered threat. He also
Which makes it
pointed
sound
out
like a
that it's
super
not...
hollow, ill-considered threat.
Right. Well, he goes on to say it's not aimed solely at Universal, but extends to any movie maker who unilaterally abandons current windowing practices, absent good faith negotiations between us, so that they as distributor and we as exhibitor both benefit and neither are hurt from such changes.
Damn.
So we've talked a lot about this with comics in the last couple of weeks, how this is a chance for us to really kind of change some of the crappier parts of the industry as it reopens. Theaters need to take that same damn hard look at themselves. I know you really love the theater. I only go for, like, tentpole movies, like big movies for me, which is pretty much just Star Wars.
Yeah, I've been finding in recent years how much I truly, truly love the theater experience, and yet I am going to be on the forefront of saying that I don't mind if it does mostly die or changes in a big way. I don't think it's going to die anytime soon. But I don't mind the idea of a lot more things going to video on demand. And honestly, it's something that's been like the behind the scenes of the industry has been changing towards for a long time anyway. This is just sort of like giving the excuse to finally make that push.
Well, and I think a lot of movies don't need a theater appearance. Like, I mean, Trolls maybe, so you can go keep your kids entertained for a few hours. But, like, a lot of smaller movies that go to the theaters and then don't do very well and then get crap because they didn't do very well in the theaters could just go straight to streaming or digital or DVD or whatever and probably do just fine.
Yeah. That whole system's really weird. I feel kind of bad for the theaters because some of the shit things about theaters aren't completely their fault. It's like the MPAA behind them and stuff, but things need changed. This might force a change. It's going to be interesting, though, having one of the largest theater chains in the nation completely not carrying Universal's pictures, though.
In Missoula, it means we don't really get to watch Universal movies anymore.
Right.
We only have AMC here.
Well, and there were some statements made by some of the other chains. Regal, in particular, might sort of do something similar. So, who knows? We'll see.
Okay.
That's what we got for now. AMC isn't carrying Universal, and it's weird. Everything else is kind of quick. There is a new Goosebumps TV series in development.
Oh.
Yay. I liked those books as a kid.
we've talked this to death. I don't really like horror. You did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you grew up reading Goosebumps. I grew up getting nightmares from Goosebumps.
Goosebumps was almost
Cool.
too kiddie for me really quickly, but I did enjoy them for a brief period of time, so...
Oh, they were super dumb. I'm a chicken now, so I was just the world's biggest chicken back then.
Winnie, got
Oh.
it. Yeah, I think the only Goosebumps I ever read was this little chapter about like a seashell that like whispers to you or something, and then it like, and then
Yeah, I don't
and I
remember.
remember it so vividly because it scared me so much. But then it drew this girl from the beach into a cave into like this, and like she like saw like this big shell, right, and then like the shell ate her, and then
Oh,
she
shit.
became the voice, and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a twist.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
but Animorphs is available for free, all online, all on like Reddit. And I guess the author basically said, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything about it." Like she's like, "We don't really sell the books anymore." Yeah.
What?
So
I never finished them.
yeah.
No, I have
So
to.
the formatting is a little difficult to read on mobile because it is all PDF. Like via Dropbox, but like it's all there. So I just read like book one.
Nice.
I just found out, like, in the last couple of weeks that the last, like, half of the series were all ghostwritten.
Really?
Oh.
Like, she wrote most of them, and then, because they were coming out at an insane pace. There was, like, 4 or
Yeah.
5 books a year coming out. And she would come up with the plot, someone else would write it, she would do some, like, editing, and then, like, it would be released under her name with... the author thanks so-and-so for their contributions, and so-and-so was the real author of the book, basically.
Oh.
And then up until the final book, and she's like, no, this one I'm writing.
The final book hit hard. It was so sad for me to get through.
I know some of what
Yeah.
happens, but I never actually read it myself. I was like, oh, I forgot about this. What happened? And I looked it up one day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's sad. One day
Yeah.
I'll get to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I Wikipedia, it went off the
yeah,
fucking
it's
deep
fucked
end.
up. And like especially since like you read it as an elementary school kid, right? Like I was like what, 7, 8 at the time that I read it.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone comes into Animorphs at about that same age.
Yeah, I was still young enough that I could get into the kids section
Yeah.
of the libraries, so
Under 10,
under
yeah.
10.
And so finishing that first book recently, I never realized that Tobias got stuck in hawk form so soon. Like by the end of book 1, stuck forever.
Yep.
And like for some reason, like just a part of me thought that like it took him a little longer to be so dumb. Nope,
Nope.
just
Straight to
just
sad.
Straight to
Straight.
sad. And it's I'm pretty sure I cried. Like I was just like by myself, like at night under the covers, and like he's like I hid and it just took too long, and it was longer than 2 hours, and I was like, no. Yeah,
No, Tobias.
not Tobias.
I will say, I remember it being super satisfying when they, through Deus Ex Machinas, gave him the ability
Yeah.
to transform again and, like, temporarily assume his human form again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. Oh, now I'm going to be thinking about Animorphs all day, which is
Yeah.
fine, but
Oh, man. Cece found on Tumblr, which I think is what started this, pictures of some of the weirder Animorph toy line.
oh,
Because there was a toy line that was made by Hasbro, who makes the Transformers.
yeah.
And then when the toy line went terribly, because they all looked super fucked up, it just looked wrong. They just, like, changed the head on them and put them into the, like, Beast Wars toy line instead.
No.
Yes. That's awesome. Let's see, what else do I got for... Assassin's Creed Valhalla was officially announced.
Some of my historical accuracy friends are really pissed that the Viking looks like the Vikings from the TV show as opposed to chainmail and, like, conical helmet, but...
Well, that's a lot better than the other outrage that's pouring across the internet because of that announcement.
Oh, I haven't watched the announcement yet. This is going to be either sexist or racist, isn't it?
Sexist. Well, the announcement itself isn't like there's nothing wrong with the trailer, but part of the announcement was what you would get with the special editions. One of the special editions comes with a statue, and the statue is of the female version of the Viking character.
Oh no, there's a girl Viking. Oh,
much
God,
like Odyssey,
especially with
you can
Viking
choose
fans.
either male or female for your playthrough. I believe both in this case, though, are named Ivor. Or Eivor? Eivor.
It's Norwegian. We're probably mispronouncing it no matter what.
And the statue is of female Eivor. And female Eivor, even existing, has a lot of people mad because it's the internet and shit sucks sometimes.
You're telling me.
Die mad about it.
These assholes who have fucking waifu figures are mad about another girl figure?
Yep. 100% that's what I'm saying.
In Belagarth, the nickname has started coming up for the like super Viking obsessed as Scandaboos, like taking weeaboo and putting it with Scandinavia. And of course, these Scandaboo assholes are going to be upset about a fucking awesome lady Viking assassin.
Listen, she'll fit next to your naked
Like-
girls much better than a hairy dude will.
Yeah. I don't know. The outrage seems to be mostly that she exists in the first place, which that's dumb as it is anyway.
Especially since the Viking...
I mean, it's all dumb, but I'm stupid excited for the game itself.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Viking culture respected women a lot more than a lot of other cultures do, right?
Yeah, there's some debate on where that falls, because it turns out that when we're talking about things 1,000 years ago,
Yeah.
there's a lot of guesswork. But they were a lot better than a lot of their contemporaries at the very least.
Yeah. That was always my understanding, too, was that probably still kind of shitty at some points, but compared to everyone else in the region, like, no, they
Yeah.
were all about women.
Compared to, like, today.
Also, they were surprisingly multicultural.
I'm really excited about the game in general. We already kind of knew it was coming, but the announcement trailer itself made me like smile really hard this morning. So
Good. Bring it on.
So Disney announced that its next live-action adaptation of its old cartoon properties is going to be Hercules.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched Hercules since it was in the theaters, but I've been
shame.
kind
It's
of
so
tempted
good.
lately.
It's so bad that it's
It's-
so wrong, right? Like, coming from, like, someone who loves Greek mythology, but, like, it's so good.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because Heracles is just being born in the Stephen Fry book I was talking about, and in the movie, which I did not know was wrong when I watched it when it came out in theaters when I was like 9 or whatever it was. Hera's like his
Yeah.
loving mother or something
he's-
like
he's
that. And I was
born
like,
on
yeah.
Olympus.
And then I learned more, and I went, oh no,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
You're like,
his
yeah.
origin
You're
is
like, dude,
terrible.
Hera's a cunt. And I'm like, but you're like, yeah, but so is Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh, Zeus is the absolute fucking worst. Like, I really need the Greek gods to stop punishing the humans that
Yeah.
Zeus fucks over. But honestly, just Zeus is terrible.
Yeah.
There is on Webtoons. There is an adaptation of like Greek mythology, of specifically the Hades and Persephone story called Lore Olympus. That's huge,
Oh, I've heard of this.
huge, right? And so it's to the point where I think like Netflix is going to adapt an animated version, which I think is huge for something like Webtoons, where they're like all small creators, right? But yeah, I mean, they talk about how
that's cool.
Zeus and Poseidon are also gross, constantly.
Oh, yeah. I was reading something recently. Webtoons is actually the biggest comic book company in the world,
Wow.
but no one takes it seriously because it's
Yeah.
all small creator-owned stuff published online through webcomics. But they make more money and they put out more content than any other comic book company in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's that fast pass. That fast pass gets you because it's not very expensive, and then once you fall into that trap, right? Like you don't recover from it. And everything is released on either a weekly or bi-weekly, maybe even more, maybe even less. And there's just so much, and like they're constantly like cycling out like popular stuff or like what they recommend, or they'll do little promotions where they're like, okay, read 100 chapters of one of these kind of like even smaller creator content, and like they give you like a genre or like an area to go into, and like, and if you finish 100 in these days, then we'll give you some fast pass coins, and stuff. And so I think it's a really good system. I mean, they like Crunchyroll adapted one of their comics called Tower of God. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I didn't know that
Yeah.
was webtoon originally.
Yeah, I mean and it's good, and I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan, and I love that like it is truly free. Like there's no like I mean like it's all of the purchases, all of the add-ons, like it's your choice. Completely your choice, but you still get a full user experience without paying. And if anything, like, because how the fast pass works is that you some creators will create a few extra weeks worth of content so that they can stay ahead, and so you can purchase up to 3 weeks or 4 weeks or so of extra content, right? But what that means is that when you've caught up there, you either continue to pay or you wait like everyone else. And so like
Okay.
the experience doesn't change if you pay more, you just get content a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Nice.
That's just fucking great. Okay, I really need to look a little. I've got the
Yeah.
webtoon app on my phone, but other than reading like Lunar Baboon, I haven't read much on it, and I need to
Yeah.
change that by the sound of
It's
it.
really good. That's Webtoons has like Adventures of Little Char and the Gang, which is like those adorable Pokemon comics of like Bulbasaur.
Oh shit.
Oh, I read that one on
really
Facebook. It's
like
so
everyone
cute.
speaks like common tongue, but then Bulbasaur's like Bubba, and like that one point they address it and they're like, "How do you understand him?" And like Charmander and Squirtle are like, "What do you mean he speaks like the rest of us?" And they're like, "He does not." And they're like, "I don't understand what you're saying."
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cute.
But the Russo brothers are going to be producing on
Ooh.
Hercules
Sorry, going back to Hercules.
Huh.
to,
tie it
to tie it back around.
I
Yeah.
know that there's a lot.
Which
Wait, aren't they supposed to be making like Magic the Gathering or something like that?
I think they're going to be directing on this. They're on that. They're going to be producing on the Hercules, which means
Oh,
they're.
right, okay.
I have a feeling that's more. I mean, producing side on movies tends to be a little bit different than TV. So there's no telling how much they're actually going to be involved, but they seem to like to be a little bit hands-on with their projects. So I would guess more than your average executive producer, but they're probably mostly going to be using a lot of their connections to make sure that they lock down some of the stars that they want, and maybe even the crew that they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, putting their name on it to be like, see, this is going to be important.
There's a
Pay
ton
attention
of
to
fan
it.
casting,
I mean-
specifically for the Muses right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen a
Yeah.
So casting
I'm
for the Muses too.
very curious as to if they'll just kind of like left field it like with Princess and the Frog, where like a lot of big names auditioned for Tiana and they picked a sweet girl out of it, you know.
I'm more wondering with like Russo involvement if our Hercules isn't going to end up being like Chris Hemsworth or Dave Bautista.
They're too handsome and too buff for they. I don't know. I suppose they've already done the bad CGI on. Oh no! It was on Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Different Chris.
Different Chris.
Yeah. Also, Chris Pine goes on
Oh,
the
creepy
show where
old
he
guy?
he sings a song about how he's not this Chris, he's that Chris. It's very funny. But yeah, no, I mean, I suppose they've done the shitty CGI of skinny Hercules into buff Hercules, but he's so boyish. If they're doing like a true Disney rendition, right? Like he never loses that kind of like that boyish innocence, that charm. And these are like
Right.
men.
We'll see what happens. I'm more excited for it now that the Russos are on board. I have I know most of my fond feelings for that movie are mostly nostalgia at this point because I have re-examined it and been like, oh, this movie sucks.
Yeah, I was like, listen, Hades is a lot better of a part of it than I appreciated as a kid. Right?
Yeah, but he's also played by James Woods, who's
But also
the
Hades
worst.
still sucks. Like, he is.
Yeah. Hades was better in the TV series.
The TV series!
See, I never saw that. I didn't have Disney Channel until way later.
It was also not great, but you got
Yeah.
more
Oh, yeah.
Hades, so. Space Jam 2 has a name. Space Jam,
A new legacy. Okay, I was hearing rumors about how it was difficult for them to find basketball players to be the bad guys because no one wanted to get dunked on. Is there any truth to that? Do you guys know anything about it?
I don't know. We talked about this a little bit on one of our other episodes. I will be there like opening day in the theaters because of my love of Looney Tunes, but I kind of don't want this movie to be made.
Yeah.
I will watch this movie if we decide to do an episode on the movie. Otherwise, I am probably going to decide I'm better off without it.
Man, they legit will
But
have
I kind of
my
want to do an
money.
episode on it, so...
They will legit have my money just because I will go into the theater just scanning the background for the Go-Go Dodo Easter egg. Just so I can see Go-Go Dodo on the big screen again.
In fantastic
And that's
quality.
almost legitimately the only reason I'm going to be there. And Marvin the Martian.
Of course.
Love me some Marvin.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I watched a lot of
Tasmanian
Baby
Devil.
Looney Tunes as a kid, and I really liked it.
Aren't they making a new Looney Tunes series? I thought I saw something about that.
I saw something about that too, but I don't know enough about it to say anything one way or another right now. But probably?
Okay.
Chad Stahelski and David Leitch have confirmed that they will be adding some fight choreography for The Matrix 4. If you are not immediately recognizing those names, they are the guys behind the John Wick movies.
Wow.
Cool.
And actually, when I was just looking up, I'm stupid impressed by their stunt credits. I looked them up earlier today, and like Stahelski was the guy that filled in for Brandon Lee after the accident on The Crow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
Leitch.
he's been doing this forever.
Yeah, Leitch has been Brad Pitt's stunt double like 5 different times, including in like Fight Club. These guys have been around, and I love fight choreography, and some of the John Wick stuff is amazing. The Matrix stuff was already amazing because it was choreographed by Wenwo Ping, and I'm just glad that it's continuing getting amazing fight choreographers. That's all.
Matrix 4 was never a thing I thought I was going to care about, but everyone involved seems so legitimately, like, happy and interested in doing it that it makes me kind of excited because of them.
Yeah. And then the big happy news that we'll end on for today. By the way, happy Star Wars Day, guys.
Yeah! It's May the 4th while we're recording this.
Taika's getting his movie.
That's right.
Yeah!
Taika Waititi will be directing a Star Wars feature film and co-writing it alongside Christy Wilson Cairns, who wrote 1917. So,
Which I have not seen, but people have just been fawning over it since it came out.
and that is maybe the best news I've heard in a while because, Taika's just a treasure. So, and that's all I got for news. I actually that went longer than I thought it was going to anyway, but we got news.
That's some mighty fine news there. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we will dive into the digital world. So we've been thinking about doing this episode since we did the Pokemon episode. because apparently it's a lot of fun to talk about weird children's thing that end with Mon.
Yeah, all the Mons.
And then, they just happened to release new Digimon stuff for us, which gave us the perfect frickin' excuse to dive into my childhood guilty pleasure.
I am so glad we're talking about Digimon, and I'm so mad at myself for not giving myself more time this week to watch more Digimon after my brain got, set back on this course watching the new episodes.
In the 9th grade, we had to do a comparison essay for English, right? As basically saying this is better than this because of X, Y, and Z. And I wrote one on Pokemon versus Digimon. My classmates were not amused, but I definitely did Digimon dirty because it was just easy to be like, well, Pokemon is just much more kid friendly. Look at the scary monsters. In my heart, just be like, but Digimon's so good. But yeah. So I love Digimon.
In a lot of ways, you're actually the inspiration for this episode, beyond just mentioning it in the Pokemon one, because you talk about Digimon on Facebook, and it kind of put it back in my memories. Because I hadn't watched Digimon in 10 years, at least, and I was probably drunk when I watched it then.
Oh yeah, it's been a long-ass time for me, too. And this makes me so happy to be revisiting it.
So, what are people's, other than essays doing Digimon dirty, what is people's experience with Digimon? What was your intro to it? Stuff like that.
All right. I'll start, because mine's going to be really easy and simple. I started watching it as soon as it came on. What was it?
Kids.
Was it Fox Kids? What was it coming on?
I think it was Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 Kids, something like that. August 1999. I was primed because it was another Mon. Pokemon had already been out, and I'm like, Digimon, what's that? I like computers. It still has Mon. And I checked it out, and as I mentioned on our Pokemon episode, I didn't watch much Pokemon because the story of Digimon was so much better for me. It seemed a lot more... it was so much more tied to the real world. The stakes seemed so much higher to me. I like just the design of them overall a little bit more. Overall, there's some Pokemon that I'd be like, okay, no, I'm good. This is my boy. But
Snorlax.
But on average, I love Digimon designs more. The characters, I was all there. But then I kind of left it all there. I watched Adventure and Adventure 02. And then, I was already on the edge of it not being cool, and then I went into high school, and I was like, I'm not watching Digimon, so I kind of just fell out of it from that point, so. But I still think about it every once in a while, and I sing the Digimon, Digital Monsters to myself quite often, so.
The champions.
I don't remember exactly how I got into Digimon, because 99, I would have been 5, right? And so, and I don't remember if I was exposed to anime or Pokemon or Digimon anytime before or after Pokemon, which would have, Pokemon I think was really started around that Game Boy Color Costco pack. But I definitely remember watching it again when I was maybe 8, between 8 and 11. I remember being in Vietnam. My mom would take us every other year to go to Vietnam. And I remember that summer, I just I'm usually pretty interactive with my cousins. That summer, I watched on my mom's tiny little mini laptop, and I just busted out all of Digimon Adventure and Adventure 02. And I remember that very, very vividly. And I do remember the third one is when there was just 3 of them, and they fused into their Digimon, right?
That was the one with the cards, yeah?
There's Terriermon. With this this kid with kind of bluish hair. And then there was was it Renamon, who's who's kind of like, it's like this.
That was the fox.
Yeah, the fox. And then there was a third one that I could not. Was he a red Digimon? I don't know. But I think that got too weird.
It was like a red dinosaur thing.
Okay, yes.
That is where I fell out too. That is
I
around the
felt
time that I
pretty
was
heavily on that one. Yeah, it just got too weird. And then I think it kept going, and I just never kept going.
Yeah, I remember watching episodes occasionally because, I don't know, we ended up with a channel with it, and I'd occasionally be like, oh, I remember Digimon, this is funny. And it was just insane. Like, at one point they didn't have Digimon anymore, they just, like, turned into Digimon.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even tell what was happening anymore.
No,
like,
yeah,
it was just weird.
Okay, so Digimon 3 then did me too much of almost like Zoids. You know how like he can like ride inside Zeke? Like they were too similar for me, and I think I was into Zoids at the time.
Oh, fuck, Zoids was cool.
But yeah, and then in like 2017, at the end of the year, I picked up Digimon Adventure Try, which is a direct sequel to Adventure 02. And that was so good. But it took a little while for it to completely release everything, so I think I only recently finished it in the last year or so.
Well, you're doing better than me. I dived back in recently because of, because of all this. I watched Digimon and I watched Digimon Adventure 2, and I did not admit that I liked them because, you know, they were the not cool ones, but I really liked them. I remembered last night when it came on, when I was watching it, my first episode heavily involved Ikakumon.
Yeah.
And it was like Devimon had like thrown them all off the island, and it was the episode where Joe and Sora have to like get back to the island, and Ikakumon is there, and they fight ghosts.
Oh.
As an episode, it does not make a whole lot of sense, but I was like, here's this fucking awesome giant thing that shoots horn missiles, and I love this. And then, like, I don't think I've ever seen any of them all the way through. It was one of those that I would watch when it came on, and they were all just batshit insane, and it was always just an adventure that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, it for me, it had kind of like this odd feeling of like everything seemed like a filler episode, but it lent into like the bigger picture still.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of standalone adventures, which is something that we don't see anymore, but was kind of how most 90s TV went, of like, here's a standalone story and then like an overarching plot to the season that'll come in.
Yeah. And honestly, if you asked me like today if I really remembered any of Digimon Adventure, I don't remember what the plot was. I remember Lady Devimon being a big fucking deal to me because I was so into Anja Woman that I was just like her alter, like it was my mind just like I lost it.
I don't remember.
What did I miss? I'm back.
Hi.
Okay. I talked about how Digimon was like my dirty secret that I watched way later than I wanted to admit to, and then we were just talking about Lady Devimon.
Yeah. Basically.
Works for me.
Yeah. So, and then like I don't know who Genai is. Like all I remember of Genai is he was the little man in the Digimon movie. Like I don't remember his place in the series at all. I don't know if he's a little human that was trapped in the digital world. Like, as an adult, I have so many questions as to who he actually is.
He just popped up in the episode that I was watching last night. Because I was like... Because in theory, this is supposed to be about the new series, but I watched the 3 episodes of the new series, and I went, oh, I'm going to watch all the old ones now, too.
You're like, I need more.
And Cece, who never watched Digimon, is just watching being like, what the fuck is happening on this show? But Genai just appeared, and they ask him what he is, and he just kind of doesn't answer, and was like, okay, here's your quest now. I'm your little digital Merlin.
Wonderful.
I'm like, are you human? And he's like, here's your quest. But anyways, in theory, this is about the new movie, or not the new movie, the new show, which is Digimon Adventure, and then just like a colon. Is there a subtext that I don't remember?
Yeah,
no, not yet.
No, yeah, I think it's just called
not at
Digimon
all.
Adventure, and in parentheses you get 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a reboot of original Digimon it's only out in Japan. Only like 3 episodes have come out. I'm still probably going to use the American names for people because I grew up on those.
Oh yeah. It wasn't for me. It wasn't until Digimon Adventure Try that I ever watched anything in Japanese. And so, but that was like really cool seeing how much care the translators took to still adapt most of the names, like very well.
Digimon Try is interesting because you would never have with Pokemon.
No.
Hey, let's see what happened to these characters when they grew up.
Yeah.
That just wouldn't
Ash
be a thing.
is still 10, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash is 10 in the year 2020. He has been doing this for 25 years now.
I was gonna say, you just saying
He's
Pokemon
10.
and grow up in the same sentence didn't click. Everything in my brain just sort of skipped for a second. Like that. Those things don't go together.
And it doesn't bother me. It's much like The Simpsons where they're never aging and that's okay. But Digimon always had more story, and allowing it to grow up, no matter how fucking bizarre Digimon is, let it do things that Pokemon could never even consider.
And I feel like a really great way that it like rolled into that was that Kari and TK were so young when the first season was out, and then for them to kind of roll into the second adventure, but not be and they kept so much of their experience and stuff, but they didn't overtake the show either, was really interesting to see, right?
Yeah, I really liked them as the vets, which is fun because I really hate TK as a little kid watching this show now.
I love TK. You leave the sweet boy alone.
My main question is, what the hell is that hat?
Listen,
Like, I kind of love it, but everyone else has, like, relatively normal things they're wearing. It's weird anime design, but, like...
I mean, listen, he never really gets rid of the weird hat.
Yeah, he just picks up a bucket hat,
Yeah.
like, 10 years before hipsters took it on.
Look,
I say as an owner of a bucket hat.
I'm not gonna lie. I was always more okay with the hat than I was with the goggles.
Listen, the goggles worked for Ty, but I hate Davis. I hate, ugh. Right, it's like they made Ty, but worse, and then they made him obsessed with his sister, which I was not down with, because I swear to the Lord, if they do not marry TK and Kari off in this season, I'm over. I'm done.
Just fucking riot.
This has been 20 years of my life just waiting for them to get together. There's no reason why they would set us up like this and give them complementary Digimon and make their brothers best friends and then just not marry them off. I don't understand. And I prayed for it in Try, and it didn't happen.
I remember you getting really mad about that, yeah.
Yes, that was that. I think that one was the first like wave like this year that I had gone through about how upset I was.
Oh, God. My favorite was from that second one, because Davis, you're right, was a punk who was weird. Like, Kari's my girl. And I'm like, learn about consent, you little asshole.
Yeah.
But the kid with the armadillo that spoke
Cody.
with a Texan accent? Cody, yeah. Cody and Armadillomon were the shit.
They were so cute. I loved. They were just everything they did was like right. To the comment of you not liking TK as a kid, I feel like Cody is like kind of like the correct way that they could have done a younger character, you know? Listen, TK had a lot of separation anxiety. He had divorced parents, right? And his best friend is his brother who like lives in a different city or something. And then for vacation, he goes to his grandma's house out in the country. TK's doing the best he can.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it now through this lens and see. I just was watching last night the episode where Patamon's like, what am I going to digivolve into? And he keeps coming up with, like, pig variations. And Patamon's eventually just like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
listen, I don't think TK's ever seen an animal not a pig. You don't know that. And then of course he gets a man. You're like, what are you gonna turn into? And he gets like, whatever it was, I didn't think it was gonna be a full grown ass man with a 6-pack.
Fucking Fabio with wings is my Digimon partner.
I was like, for sure TK has never seen one of those before.
Oh man, you guys are all making me wish that I would have done more of my old school homework, because I'm having vague memories of like all of this, and it's flooding back, but it's not as fresh on the tip of my tongue as like this
I'll
new
be honest,
one.
man. My entire
Well, I mean that I was done. I was just like, this new one is all up in my mind right now, because it went insane from the get go.
Oh,
yeah, my entire plan really for this episode was to pull the cord of Tiffany and let it rip and see what came out of her mouth here about Digimon for like an hour and a half, which so far is going great.
About how many feels about.
Okay,
But
I'm curious. So, you guys both have the old stuff a little bit more fresh on your mind. What did you think of this new one then?
it surprised me. I found myself when I first turned it on, like prepping myself to dislike it, being like, oh, I'm having fun watching the old one. I can't do it with the new one. And then it was hardcore. It's fuck nuts insane.
I know, I'm so on board.
Yes, I went into it not really knowing what to expect. Right, I didn't do any research on it before. I thought it would just be kind of like just like a very straightforward like remake of it. I cried all 3 episodes. Right, I just had so many emotions. I have a lot of conflicting emotions about like them jumping fuck nut crazy so early on, but also I think some of my big feelings. If we can just kind of dive right into what's going on and into the plot. I felt like them going into the camp together and then falling into the digital world together is so much a core of them then as a gang sticking through everything together. That in this new reboot with Ty and Izzy kind of only just meeting, which like they all kind of do, but like them being at the train station and then only Ty falling into the digital world, and then seeing Matt, who seems very seasoned, right?
Right. Yeah, Matt seemed like he'd already been there for a bit.
Yeah. Really, like, I don't know how they're going to be able to build that same sense of immediate camaraderie because they're really not in it together. And I feel like that was such a big message of at least the American version of Digimon, was that they're like, well, being a Digidestin means that you're part of a team. Like, you don't do this alone. And so, and of course, this is very fresh for me just watching that Digimon movie again, where you know Willis is alone through all this this entire time,
And it goes
so I feel
terribly
like that was
for him.
very fresh of like, well, then what has Matt been doing alone all this time?
Learning how to ride Garurumon.
Yeah, learning how to ride Garurumon apparently, and then they just bring out
Being the-
Omnimon like that.
Right, so that's
right
the big
off the
what
bat?
the fuck?
Yeah, it took, 52 episodes in a movie to get to him, and they were like, episode 2.
End of
Episode
episode 2.
Omnimon immediate. I'm just like, what? Well, and I do feel like the whole digital crisis thing was like a big part. It's almost the entire plot of the first half of Digimon the movie, right? Was that digital crisis, and the Digimon that they have in the reboot. I don't even really know if I even learned its name, but like it has very like Inframon, Diaboromon vibes, especially with like the wobbling eyes.
Right.
Ooh, I just looked at it's Argomon.
Argomon, okay. Miyu, please leave Mother alone.
Dog is making an entry.
Yeah.
Puppymon.
And so it had very Diaboromon, Inframon vibes. Omnimon, there's so much build up to lead him to there, especially like with his name kind of being, it's like Omni is like is everything, right? And so it just, how do they go up from here?
Yeah, they went straight to 11, and the question is, can they maintain that?
Right. And is it like the thing where like Ash is, please, Miyu, for the love of God, do not bite me.
Have either of you watched the Voltron reboot, Legendary Defender, on Netflix?
I've seen a few episodes of it.
I'm wondering if they're going to kind of roll Omnimon the same way that they did Voltron on that show, where the first time they formed Voltron was like panic instincts. It's like that second that you're able to like lift a car off a person.
Right.
It was that sort of thing. And then they're like, why can't we do this again? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do this? And they had to work back to being Voltron again.
Yeah.
That could work.
I don't know. I'm also wondering if it's...
movie.
I'm also just wondering, though, if it's going to set up for just, like, we're getting Omnimon already, so we're just going to go bigger and crazier from the get-go.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like... okay, I remember being so excited about War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. Like, so stinking excited, right? And of course, like, with
I'll still stand by War Greymon. That design is just pitch fucking perfect. It's so cool.
Beautiful.
I won't stand as much next to Metal Garurumon, because it's a little
bit
bit more...
Garurumon was better.
Yeah.
But like, and for me, I think a lot of it is like, it's that kind of that selfish thing of like, well, with the reboot, it's for this generation. I do understand, and I want them to kind of go through that same emotional journey that I've gone through and feel for the same things that I feel for, right? Mm-hmm. And I like going with Omnimon right off the bat because Omnimon is a blend of Metal Garurumon and War Greymon, and it's like, okay, well, they haven't even made it to those evolutions yet, and so it takes a lot of the impact away, but also it takes away a lot of that importance in that journey that it took them to get there. Almost, you know, like I feel like without them even showing Metal Garurumon and War Greymon, the awe of Omnimon doesn't quite make sense, and even the build of Omnimon doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, the first time I remember watching that movie for the first time and just being like, "Holy shit! This is." They just got sucked into a computer and now they're making amazing Pokemon, not Digimon.
Not Pokemon.
Hey, at least I didn't say Monster Rancher. But at the same time, as much as, and I super agree with you on showing Omnimon too fast, I'm really glad they didn't just let's remake the old one as is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because if you're going to reboot something, you still need to say something kind of new with it.
Yeah.
Especially with things that have a weirdly devoted fan base, like Digimon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I do like the art a ton. I will say that we're 3 episodes in and they're still doing Izzy dirty because his face looks so flat. Just so flat. Like it looks almost like Digimon movie, like bad animation. Which like Matt was one of my first animated crushes. Like he's so handsome and he like played guitar and he like sings. It's great.
Oh god. I do like that Izzy is immediately given a place where he has like friends and is useful because he is the ultimate 90s stereotype awkward nerd.
Yeah.
In the original series. Like him and Joe are so obnoxious in their first appearances.
So you guys haven't watched Adventure Try, which takes place in about real time, like 2017-ish, right?
Okay.
Relatively. I think that like they do some time skipping, but their ages are progressing slowly. So they're all going into high school, or they're all in high school or something like that. And like Izzy admits that his mom still shops for him his clothes, and so he creates you get scenes of him being too flustered to talk to like retail people, and so he creates a program that shows him like by putting it in his measurements and such, it shows him all the optimal and options of like outfits that he can wear because he wants to be trendier because Mimi's back.
Oh, he's got a crush on Mimi.
Yes, he has a crush on Mimi, which is a weird development because I still kind of stand by a lot of like Mimi and Joe, like how like Mimi's so eccentric and out there, and Joe is like high strung and like can't get over the end. They always thought like they'd be good for each other, but Mimi's constantly traveling with her dad, which she still does. But yeah, so like Izzy is still like so fucking awkward and he's now like as a high schooler is like this big like sought after techie guy, like even in the States. And so like they're Kickstarters that are based in Japan that give him an office, and he's still so awkward.
I like Izzy a lot more than I did originally. Joe, I've always enjoyed. And I was reminded that watching the old ones and seeing a little bit of her in this, Sora is a fucking queen.
I love Sora.
Sora's great.
I love Sora so much for some reason.
No, I mean Sora is so strong, right? And she's tomboyish, but she's still so feminine in like her very traditional Japanese ways. But things never seemed forced or out of place with Sora. You just looked at her and you're like, oh no, that's just Sora. I feel like Mimi, like they very like tried really hard to make her this like overly girly girl, like spoiled princess and such. And like when I had watched Digimon Adventure try again, like I had this big post and I can't find it because it's like somewhere in October and I'm not gonna look back that many years for it. But I had this big kind of like reflective post about how I hated Mimi as a kid because she seemed so spoiled and annoying and like cried at everything and all this stuff. And then as I'm growing up, right, I'm like, I'm Mimi. Like as much as I would love to be Sora or Kari, like I'm like, I'm Mimi. Like in all of her flaws, in all of her growth, in like how like Mimi's because let me see, Sora is the crest of friendship or love.
Sora is love.
She's love. Right?
Mimi is
Kind of?
sincerity.
Sincerity, yes, okay. Yeah, so Mimi really does embody it, right? Like she really just like she sees something and she immediately loves it. She's always been the most empathetic of them, right? And you see it in the episodes where like there's some like gross slug like sewer looking things and they call her their queen. Like she's Queen Mimi. And you're sitting there like, and you know, like Mimi is like that stereotypical girl who like she like hated them at first and she was disgusted by them, but she's so empathetic that she gets over it. And so as an adult, I'm able to much more appreciate all of her flaws and how it builds into all of her strengths.
She's one of the ones that befriends Ogremon too, isn't she?
Yeah. Yep. That's Queen
Who was
Mimi.
voiced by Jet from Cowboy Bebop, which is just endlessly hilarious to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like Sora has always like just been like unapologetically Sora in everything that she does, which, you know, did stand against a lot of like stereotypes at the time, right? But she wasn't so overtly tomboyish that you felt like she was out of place when she was wearing her kimono and doing like floral arrangements and kind of meeting her very traditional mother. But also like the fact that she wears pants and she has like her silly hat that like she and Ty are constantly arguing about. And for her to like really like jump right in there, but also to give her instead of Mimi the weird love triangle.
Yeah, I forgot about that. In season 2, they're randomly just like, now there's a love triangle.
Yeah.
Matt's interested too.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, where do you come from, Matt? And it continues in Digimon Adventure Try. Let me tell you, doesn't go away.
Tell us.
You know, I mean, Digimon Adventure Try basically opens with like Matt inviting Sora to his show. And then you also find out later that it's on the same day as Ty's soccer game, and Sora's like freaking out. She's like, okay, well, like if I go to the show first, then I can make it to the soccer game. But it only works if he goes on this channel. Okay, what if I do the soccer game first and then I go to the show? But if Matt plays first, then I'm screwed. And like this back and forth. Yeah. And so that whole love triangle goes on, and like honestly, like I don't even know. Like I'm usually pretty fast about like who I want to end up with whom, right? But like I could never really decide Matt or Ty. I just never
Ty,
felt
100%.
like I just never felt. Listen, like I don't, but we don't know if that's like a healthy thing, right? Because a lot of their interactions are like he'll say something because he's dumb, and then she takes it so personally and she gets upset. And I'm like, that's not really healthy. And then he'll kind of apologize, but he kind of doesn't. Like in the movie, right? He's like, sorry I gave you the pin. I feel like I haven't messed up since I accidentally threw up in your hat and then didn't tell you about it and you put it on. well, like, what's a few raindrops between friends? And I'm like, that's not an apology.
You're like, Ty, no.
Right. But also,
Okay,
like, Matt
I'll
is,
give
like,
you that.
Matt is, like, similarly, like, emotionally stunted, right? Although, I mean, yeah, so I just never had strong feelings about any of them ending up together. Nowhere near my feelings about TK and Kari. I don't know if anything comes near my feelings about TK and Kari.
Matt falls into the anime stereotype of the, like, distant cool guy
Oh, yeah.
that has never been my favorite character archetype.
See, I was going to say he
But-
falls in the archetype of, oh, that's the character I wish I was.
Yeah.
But there's also kind of that. Like, he's the cool one.
Yeah, no, and like for me, like I feel like Matt, you know, like Matt has a lot of that cloud, like Shadow the Hedgehog, like Sasuke kind of like edgy boy vibe.
Hedgehog.
Right? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Prince Zuko is who I think
Yeah,
of,
Prince Zuko.
and the Fire Ice Kid from My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, Todoroki. And I don't like to put Todoroki on this list because you get to kind of see a lot of like why he is the way he is. Where like Sasuke, I'm just like, I get like your family died, and I think it really sucks that your family died, but also
But stop being a bitch.
then you chose to live by yourself in that complex, you know. And same with kind of like Cloud, right? It's like I get that like your best friend mentor died, and like you were there, and it really sucks, but also like you kind of choose to be like a little bit like you're kind of choosing your path here. You're kind of creating, manifesting your own destiny. And a lot of Matt is that like he like acts really tough and stuff, but they also very much put a lot of time and effort into showing like how much of an empathetic and like good big brother he is, and how much he cares about TK, and then also like how worried he is about his dad constantly, right? Like it just seems like his dad is like not always there, and he's just like, what are you doing, Dad? Like, I don't understand. And he even like checks up on his mom every now and then, like through TK. And like, I don't think that they ever really dive into the circumstances of divorce, but I think that was one of my first like TV, like depictions of divorce.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That I had ever seen. But yeah, so I feel like a lot of that offsets his edgy boy kind of demeanor and like archetype.
When my parents divorced, we lived in the same town, but I lived with my dad and my sister lived with my mom. So the episode where they talk about they live in different places and their relationship is kind of weird because of it. Mine was very different from theirs, but I definitely, like, there was a being seen to that. We talk a lot in this show about how representation matters, and that is one that I think doesn't get talked about as much, but is still very important, is, you know, representation isn't just people of all races and people of all genders, and that is crazy important, do not get me wrong, but also stuff like seeing people whose parents are divorced was, like, a big thing for me.
Yeah. I always just kind of fell on with Matt because I have a little brother that I find annoying.
See, I was
especially at the time.
Yeah.
So
I was TK, except I didn't have my magic Fabio monster, so come save me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was always just kind of like, oh no, I get it. Like, I love him, but like, he sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, but also shut the fuck up, kid.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. Well, yeah, and I think it was really tough because in most of Adventure, it's just TK. Like, there's no Kari yet, because Kari was sick and didn't go to the camp, and so for a big part of it, like I think like now it's like I'm the only fucking one stuck with a sibling, and if my sibling dies, I die.
Right.
Well, and also being the only kid, because everyone else is close to the same age.
Yeah, because even Izzy, who's a little bit younger, like doesn't relate to TK because TK's a baby. TK must have like what they're all in like elementary going into middle school, right?
Yeah. This one, the new one said that Izzy was in 4th grade.
Yeah, and
So they're in like 5th or 6th.
right, and then TK has to be in like 2nd grade or something.
Uh-huh.
Like TK, the age gap is significant enough to where like Matt like is truly an older brother who is responsible instead of just like like, oh, watch your kid in the car while I go get gas. But also like Matt's crest is a crest of friendship. And so and I think that they really show a lot more of it, or maybe I just remember it more in Adventure Try, because basically when this town is attacked again, right, Ty goes through this huge conflict of he's seeing a lot of collateral damage and he is having a lot of time reconciling with it, because he's like, okay, well, like, every time Digimon come, like people get hurt, things get destroyed, like who fixes it, right, when it is our fault. And
That's something Pokemon never would do, by the way. Just getting that out
No.
there.
No.
yeah, and like and Ty has this huge conflict about it. Like, while there's all this news reports about people like being awful to all the Digimon involved, right? They're like just go die, blah 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 blah. And so when Matt figures out that TK is having these feelings, he gets really upset. And he's like, "How dare you not stand up for our Digimon friends when you know it's not their fault?" And Ty's like, "But look at the damage that we still caused." And Matt the entire time he's like not hearing it, right? He's like he's just like, it's not their fault. You know that, like, you of all people, like as like self-proclaimed leader, like you have to be there to support them because they are here for us. And so I think that him really growing into the ultimate champion of the Digimon, when you would think that traditionally they would give that role and that growth to the leader,
Right.
really then kind of build this big image of like, while Ty is kind of like your traditional single leader, a lot of it is that he works hand in hand with Matt, and that's why Matt has this huge role. That's why Omnimon is able to be born, because also later on in Try they have trouble forming Omnimon because Ty can't focus, and Ty isn't willing to accept the risks that come with forming Omnimon, and so you end up realizing that Omnimon is also like a state of mind for Matt and Ty, and that they both have to be really in it together in order for him to even exist.
Omnimon really is just fusion from Steven Universe, the more I listen to this.
Yeah.
I would say I think that's one of the things that I kind of enjoyed about this new series, is that I agree with your point from earlier that with the original series, it was like the team from the beginning, all of them showing up at the same time was a big thing. Mm-hmm. I like how this is almost highlighting the Ty-Matt relationship from the beginning.
No, that is true.
And it's like they have to have something special for the rest of this to work. Mm-hmm. And so this is the first time we're going to throw them together and be like, all right, you guys, some shit's about to go down. If you guys don't do this, nukes. So
right.
let's make sure nukes don't happen.
It kind of explains why they go so much farther too, because everyone else gets their Digimon up to what is it? It's Champion Ultimate,
Mega,
to Ultimate mode, and then they get Mega Digivolve, so they get War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, and everyone else is stuck like a level below, being like, okay, you guys have fun.
I'm trying to think. I know for sure that Anjouwomon and Anjumon are already ultimate. Hold on. The whole Anjouwomon thing is very confusing because Gatomon is a champion.
But she's like not champion powerful. She's like way weaker than any other champion we see.
That tail ring. But I think it's also like a jump set that they give to Kari because she missed out on so much, you know?
Yeah. Whoops, okay, let's skip forward here, shall we?
So then that would make Anjouwomon her ultimate form. And then there's Seraphimon. No, Seraphimon is the Egyptian one, but there's the glowing fox that always pairs with Magnadramon. And
I didn't like that. Like I wanted her to be like basically Magna Anjouwomon, like let's continue the kind of human form, and she turns into
it's like a bigger babe.
God, it reminded me of Falcor from Neverending Story, to be honest with you.
But yeah, so then I know then since I know whatever that evolution is past Anjouamon would be their mega, and then Anjumon is ultimate champion, and right because Patamon is rookie, making Anjumon champion. That's a buff champion.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
He holds up forever, and then
Magnadramon
Magna Angemon, thank you,
would
ends
be
up being able to take on mega
ultimate.
levels as an ultimate. Like, he is
Yeah.
just stupid powerful.
And then when he dies, poor TK. Oh my goodness. That was just. I was like, and I think that just hurt so much because TK was a baby, right? Like TK's
Yeah.
a baby, and for TK to have to make that sacrifice when I think the rest of the series, I don't think any other Digidestined has had to make that sacrifice aside from Willis, but Kokomon needed to be reset anyways. But like,
And it took about 4 seconds. Like, I remember it being this huge thing. I watched
Yeah.
the episode. He, like, pops up, does one move, and dies.
yeah.
Like,
But it was a
they do
very
not waste time.
important. It was a very important move. Look, it's
Well,
solved.
and then in Adventure 2, they have an episode where Devimon comes up, and TK is just straight up traumatized.
Yeah,
Like, even the mention of Devimon.
and like TK is like much more grown at this point. And I do feel like TK draws the short end of he always draws the short stick here because in Tri, right, they have to deal with infected Digimon, where like they're infected by a virus and that'll just create these big world gaps in between the worlds. Then and so they have to do a force reboot, which then wipes their memories. And like
Reboot?
first Digimon to get infected in their group, it's Patamon.
Oh no.
And like
Fucking
TK has to
hell.
hold Patamon's Patamon's like, listen, like if it gets bad, like you have to do what's right. And TK cannot bring himself to do it, and he keeps it a secret, and he doesn't let Patamon go to play with the other Pokemon anymore, or the other Digimon anymore. Oh my god, now I have it too. He doesn't let Patamon go play with his friends anymore, and he takes Patamon with him and
I think I
hides
lost you
him.
guys.
And I think it's because he has to face this over and over and over again. It's only TK. I do feel like it's and I think it is a big responsibility to give such a young child, like because his is the crest of hope, right? Which then like does lend into why he's constantly in these situations. But that's rough. That's so rough to give. Like how old are you when you're saying 8? Right? I don't know.
Something
He doesn't
like that,
even
yeah.
look like he's 8. He looks like he's 6. So he might be even younger.
Yeah, I would have guessed, because he's, like, playing with bouncy castles and stuff.
Yes.
I would have guessed, like, 5.
Yeah, like the fact that he lends so well into. Do you remember the Pokemon, the Digimon? Fuck, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not, but I'm very upset with myself for mixing them up. But like the whole the Digimon primary care, world, like
Oh, yeah, like the little baby place?
yeah, like
Oh,
TK
yeah.
fits so well in there, right? He's a baby, and so to give him the crest of hope and tell him that he is the beacon of hope, and then to force him to relive this awful experience of having to lose his Digimon, and then Patamon doesn't always come back with all his memories. Like it was kind of a reset, and I think he like kind of trickled back his memories a little bit, but like TK's too young to really understand that, and so like he definitely gets the rough draw there.
Jesus.
Very similarly to where how Kari, coming in late in the game is the light, but also she's constantly possessed. I'm like, what's like weird Digimon spirits can speak to her. They all expect great things of her, and I'm sure that these were all setups. I can't say I'm sure, but these are likely all setups for when they grew older and needed all this. But I'm like, that's still fucked. Like as an adult, like as a kid, I'm like, wow, like that's so cool. Like I'm little, like I can take on these responsibilities. I can't.
Yeah.
No. I'm 30 and I could deal with most of the shit they deal with.
I'm wondering, after talking about TK getting the short end of the stick, I'm wondering if his experience, and I'm sure it did, just because the sheer amount of people that watched, but I wonder if his experience helped any of the young kids watching deal with like the loss of a pet for the first time.
Yeah.
I wonder if like that was maybe
Dealing
part
with
of the
grief.
lesson, because he was so much younger than the others that he's not an audience stand-in for the other viewers. He's the audience stand-in for
Themselves.
the super younger viewers who haven't had to deal with some of these things yet.
Yeah, and I feel like that this is an extreme loss, right? It's not like Ash dealing with like, do I evolve Pikachu? And like, you know, like, which I do remember like feeling that very vividly of like, okay, well, like, if you evolve Pikachu, yes, he becomes Raichu, but how much of Pikachu does he lose and all this stuff? Like he loses, like Patamon dies.
Yeah.
And then I remember him carrying the cute egg around. Oh, so cute. But also, I do then wonder if all of this is kind of why they then either, I mean, you know, like pretending like we're in their world, is this why TK doesn't assume the position of leader in Adventure 02? Because I always thought that like TK would be a great leader, right? Very empathetic.
TK and Kari were the people like built to be leaders, and they
Yes.
just listened to Davis for some reason.
and they just weren't. I mean, they had their own adventures. Like when they had their armored eggs, like they had done their own adventure on the side, and I lived for that. The fact that they got to do their own adventures like meant so much. It was so fun.
I remember just seeing the armored eggs and being like, armored eggs?
Yeah.
Hello.
And the fact that like they got to keep their own Digivice for a while too, and then of course they upgraded because you know you always want to upgrade a little bit.
Oh, the first gen Digivices looked so much better, though.
They make AirPod cases for them.
Oh my god.
And I didn't know that until I'd already decked out my AirPod case with like Sailor Neptune stuff, but my sister got it and I was like, living my Digidestin dream. I definitely stayed on my computer late nights, like hoping it would glow. But yeah, it's like they were born leaders. Their positions and how much impact they had in when they were children, like would have lent very well to it, and neither of them wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. They kind of played the elder statesman of that season.
I do feel like whenever a character is given, like, they are the whatever of hope, they are also never the leader. So, I don't know. I don't know if that archetype holds up, but I feel like it does, just, like, trying to think of things across, like, in my head right now.
No,
but...
I do. I mean, aside from My Hero Academia, where, like, All Might is literally, like, the symbol... Oh, no, he's the symbol of peace, which I think they also try to, like, lend into hope. But, yeah, I think that is too much to put on one character, and then I think that then creates a very disconnected viewer experience, I think. Because if they're too much of one great thing, you're sitting there and you're like, I hate them.
Yeah.
Well, and hope is one of those things that, like, you get a much better, or not a much, but maybe a much easier story of the leader starts to lose faith, hope, literally.
Yeah.
And then they can talk to, you know, Avatar of Hope and have it.
But I don't know if TK
Bring
ever
them
had
back
that
forward?
relationship with Ty. Like, that was Matt for TK, right? I mean, sorry, that
but
was
he
Matt
did
for
sort of-
Ty.
He did sort of have it with Davis a few times, where Davis started to, like,
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, Davis sucks.
I mean,
We're-
yeah, I was like,
we're right on
most
that
of
front,
Davis
but-
I tried to banish from my mind.
I liked Vmon. I liked Flame Dramon specifically.
Yeah,
Flame
Flame
was
Dramon's the shit.
So cool. But also, Raydramon, the motorcycle, also so cool. And I loved
do love
Demi Vmon.
motorcycles.
Oh, so cute. Just a baby. But yeah, I mean, you know, they all
See,
share.
I didn't like the baby or Digimon as a kid, because I was like, they're babies. I am an adult. Like, 12-year-old, shut the fuck up, kid. But,
I need
some of them...
more Ricky Digimon toys in the world.
Agumon's baby form.
Koromon?
I can't... What is that? Koromon? Is fucking adorable.
Wait, the little black fuzz or the pink weird like monster? What is it? What is
Both.
that anime?
What-
What is that anime? It's not Monster Hunter, but it's a Monster Jam Monster
Monster Rancher?
Rancher.
Yep.
Which, if I could find, we would do an episode on that one too. We would just do the trifecta of monster shows that I was obsessed with when I was like 10.
Was Monster Rancher the one where you could like get certain monsters by putting in like CDs, and it would read the info
you would
and
take
generate
your CD
ones?
collection and put them in, and they were almost always just like a recolor of like the same basic 4 monsters.
That's right.
But I went through my dad's CD collection, and he works radio, so he had hundreds of CDs, and like every one of them, and like meticulously recorded what you got out of it.
And
they were
yeah, because
almost
every
all
once in a while you get
fucking
something
useless.
gold. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh man, I didn't know that Aqua Aquarium would give me that.
Yeah, so so it was Koromon, and then I don't remember the name of the little black fuzzy like bear, but they're also very cute.
No, but it's super fucking cute. That's the point.
But Palmon, Gatomon's rookie, so cute.
So with the new series, we're only 3 episodes in, but do you guys have any guesses where it could be heading after its insanity already with like Omnimon and
Yeah.
or any hopes of where it might go? I guess.
Yeah, in terms of-
that too.
In terms of ideas, I don't, because the 3rd episode kind of just glosses over that camp really quickly, right? And then they're already back home, and so it seems like that camp is very insignificant in terms
I do know the next episode is titled Bergermon Soars, so we're going to get more
of
of
Sora.
Sora, which makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
just with that information alone, like I would think that like maybe they would bring the Digidestined in one by one. I'm gonna be most curious about how they drag Joe out of his study class.
Yeah, that's the only place we've seen him so far.
Yeah, but also I do feel like TK and Kari will have a bigger role in this than they already do, because when their brothers are fighting, like they're both able to sense something more, and also you see little feathers floating around them.
Right, that was
Yeah,
cool.
Kari was used immediately here.
The feather was cool. The silhouette of the feather in the shadow.
Yeah, so
Oh,
and so bringing in their importance kind of like right off the bat, I think does, I mean, while it conflicts with how I felt about Omnimon, right? Because I thought that was too soon. I do feel like that will save us a lot of time of like building up to, because looking for that 8th Digidestined was brutal.
right.
It was.
Oh, it was so satisfying when she finally
Painful.
like was found, though.
Oh, she was right there. Like we all knew it. We all knew it.
Zach, any thoughts where it might be going, or hopes for where it could go with this new one? Since we're only, there's very little info, only 3 episodes. But.
I have 2 characters, one who I really want to see and one who I really don't want to see.
Okay.
I'll do don't first. And he was, I can't remember his name, but he looked kind of like a lion wearing like a bear suit, and he did an Elvis impersonation.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And he was like the like mid-level boss that was in the way like
Yes.
after Devimon but before Myotismon.
Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I hated him, and he just popped up in the episode I was watching before we recorded this, and it turns out I still hate him, guys. That has not gone away.
Oh my god.
And then I want
Etemon.
Myotismon.
Is it Etemon?
Edamon. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
right.
he's like the weird monkey looking Elvis guy.
Oh yeah, everything about him makes me uncomfortable.
For a Digimon where they give him pants, they did not give him pants.
And then I want Myotismon because something about him, and maybe it's just because he wore like the domino mask, and I am a sucker for superheroes or supervillains. I have always loved Myotismon's design. Same with Devimon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually go for the demon vampire looking motherfuckers, but apparently in Digimon, I think they're the shit.
I
cool.
want TK and Kari to end up together. That's all
Yeah, we're
I
on to
want.
that.
But I mean, I think some sort of recreation of like that Anjo woman, Lady Devimon moment would be so badass, right? I feel like it was such a big thing. I would hate to. I mean, and I'm sure that if that happens, then 4TK has to go through the loss of Anjumon again, which I would hate to see. But I do feel like these are like really big integral moments. But also like it's so cool. Like when and I feel like especially as a kid when like things just make sense, you're like, of course an angel Digimon would have a devil Digimon nemesis.
Yeah.
Classic.
I kind of hope that them using Omnimon this early just means that they're going to show a lot of imagination, and from here we're going to see a lot of brand new Digivolutions. Mm-hmm. Like never seen before. I'd love to see some of the old Digivolutions come back, but I'm hoping that they're getting this out of the way now because they're like, no, we got new shit coming. Here you go.
Let's just go
You
balls
thought
to
this
the
was
wall.
cool before? We're already going balls out. We're just going to keep going, and you guys are going to have super mega aggro Angemon.
Yeah. Well, okay. I have to remember what it's called. Digimon Tri does release a form of Omnimon post Omnimon. One moment, please. But yeah, so I know that the possibility for new evolutions is very much still prevalent because they were introducing new ones in Tri. There's a corrupted Anjouwomon after Kari loses her mind.
Well, that sounds emo as hell, and like I would absolutely enjoy it.
Yeah, it's so good.
On the other thing that I'm excited to see while you're looking that up is through the first 3 episodes, most of what we were seeing was the Digimon fighting in the network. It wasn't until the end of episode 3 that they actually got to like the digital world where Digimon actually live.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see how that looks.
Yes. Also,
Because you saw some of it in the background and it was all beautiful. So I just can't wait to explore that more.
Also, Izzy was talking about finding the life forms that live in that data as if he knew, like as if he was like looking for it.
Yeah, he's clearly part of some like fucking cabal that's discovered Digimon early, and I want to know where the fuck that came from.
Yeah. Okay. So there's Omegamon. Who is pretty cool, but then there's another version after him too. Digimon Tri gives you a lot of like really cool like boss level evolutions that I think do mean more to us as adults than it would have as a kid.
Right. And I feel like the enemies that they're facing right now acting so much like viruses kind of means that we might be dealing with infected Digimon a lot earlier in this series. But that's just kind of speculation, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's all. We're only 3 episodes in. All we have is speculation.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a little curious as to where that Digimon movie actually falls. It's absolutely not canon because they just spliced a bunch of other movies, right? And they made a great movie out of it. In my opinion, of course. I do feel like some of it aged very well and some of it did not. However,
They play so much fucking Smash Mouth in that movie.
so much fucking Smash Mouth. Hold on, these are the ones I really have notes for. Let me just go through this. Can we talk about how like Willis gave all this help and then like still stood there and was like, I didn't know there were other Digitestant. What do you mean you didn't know? You literally talked about Ty and Izzy. And how he didn't
Yeah, you were
know.
emailing him.
And yeah, he was emailing them, telling them that it was like his fault and stuff. But then when you flash forward and he talks about what had happened leading up to that, he was like, well, and then Ty and Matt like then solved the problem. So like he knows them by name, right? And then also like he like didn't know how to evolve Terriermon, but he had a Digivice and he had seen evolution then through that little screen. I was very
Willis' story doesn't add up.
I mean, yes.
He's not to be
Listen,
trusted.
but then also, I think one of the other things was that like Kari as like a baby had like a full grown voice, and I was like,
That was super disconcerting. You're right.
yeah. And then I was like, and then some of the emails during the during that digital fight, they were like, how can 2 mega level Digimon not be able to take this in? And I'm like, how do you know it's mega? I didn't know it was mega when I was watching this. And then can we also talk about how Anjumon gets Celestial Arrow as her attack, and Anjumon's is Angel Staff.
Huh. That was a thing, and it might just be a translation thing, but it was anytime they did a move in the new one, I thought I knew what the move was going to be called, and it was never right.
Yeah, it's
anytime Agumon attacked, I kept expecting him to go Pepper Breath.
Yeah, but it was Baby
and
Fire.
it was
Baby Fire.
And I was like, well, what the fuck is that? And it doesn't sound any better or worse than Pepper Breath.
No.
They both sound like really fucking lame, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna. I was enjoying Baby Fire way more than Pepper Breath.
Yeah. Also, Prodigious.
I just need to start using that in my fucking like normal lexicon of words.
I'll
I'll stand by that
I was
one.
hoping that when you did the intro, you would either do a variant of the theme song, or just start with Prodigious.
Well, the theme song has been stuck in my head for like 2 weeks, so that's where that came from.
Oh, also speaking of theme songs, they did change the theme song from Butterfly, which they've used through Adventure 1, Adventure 2, into Digimon Tri. And a part of me is very sad because I do love it. However, I do feel like they really closed that chapter, because at the end of Tri, they actually have the cast singing the song.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
really sweet.
It's really sweet. It's wonderful. But I do then feel like it does kind of reinforce our thoughts of this kind of being like a new thing.
Yeah,
Like, it's not a
all
continuation.
new, all different.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It makes sense, but I found anytime the theme song started playing, I'm like, this is not Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. How dare you?
listen, there's not a U.S. adaptation yet, right? Is there?
No,
Right.
I've been.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever watched this in Japanese.
They might bring it back for the U.S. We don't know.
I do like that they reused the same animation of Tai falling into the digital world. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh,
Yeah, pretty
wait,
much.
I know that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look. And then he was there, and I'm like, oh, this isn't what I'm used to.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, this
This is wildly.
a minute.
A
Like,
thing
this
I
is
never thought about.
cool.
A thing I never thought about as a kid, but I got distracted on this time, is where they ride the Digimon is so weird. Like Tai just hanging out on Greymon's like horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like during this giant fight scene, of all the places to be, that is like the least secure spot to
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah, well, and I think Mimi rides on the wrong arm of the cactus.
Also, she's riding on a cactus.
Yeah, also she's
Like-
on a cactus. Also, Joe's always on Ikakumon's horn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sora sits on Bertramon's foot. Like,
Yeah.
in all cases, what is wrong with you children?
I was wondering the same thing when I was watching. I'm like, hey, that's not a good place to sit.
Yeah.
I think I would stay away from the horns in the middle of a battle. He might have to use that.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt is the only one who has this right.
Yeah.
I mean, if Matt didn't have this right, we would have a totally different issue, though.
Just like holding onto the tail or something.
What are you doing? There's a back right there. Also, I feel like the Digimon art in this new one is so good. Like, the detail is
It's
so
so
good.
pretty.
The humans they put less effort into, in my opinion.
Like, we know what you're watching for, and it's not these guys.
I hope that Garurumon, or that Gomamon, still like go. Oh my gosh, no, Gomamon is the pre-evolution of Garurumon, right? No, Gomamon is Joe's.
Gomamon's Ikakumon.
Yeah. What is
We know who you're talking
Okay.
about, though.
I hope that he still loves Matt playing the harmonica. I think that was one of the sweetest things to ever watch. Was like when either of them were stressed, Matt would just play the harmonica and they would feel like better about it. That was just such like a sweet little like tidbit that built a lot of like their relationship and such. And then I think at one point, like when like Matt's really down or something, like he's just like, well, like why don't you play the harmonica? Like it always makes us feel better.
That is cute.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been talking for a while here. Any final thoughts on Digimon before we jump into our final little segment here?
I guess my last thoughts is they hooked me with these first 3 episodes of the new series. I am going to continue to watch them because I want to see just how insane it gets.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And hopefully it'll be just as like in touch with the real world and like heartwarming as the old ones. And I'm not as worried about that, but it's only a hope at this point because it's so early. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's 3 episodes in. Do we know how long it's supposed to,
Gotta be
how
long.
many episodes it's supposed to be?
I mean, traditionally they're what, like 24, 26 episodes per season?
Something like that.
So
We'll
I
find out.
can't- Yeah, I can't really. I mean, I'm sure that they'll do the thing where they just do like 13 episodes and they're like, see you next season.
That's fine.
But
Unfortunately, they're delayed thanks to fucking COVID-19, but...
yeah, Japan has finally declared a state of emergency.
Ugh.
But I mean, I'm excited. Yeah, all of my animes are all on pause. It was a very sad weekend when I logged in to try to watch them. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm super excited. Like I said, you know, I watched them and I cried. I just had so many like nostalgic feelings come up. Despite any of my my concerns, I'm still so excited.
Awesome. Zach?
Sweet. Nope, you guys kind of covered it. Fuck yeah, Digimon. I'm going to watch the new stuff. I'm going to watch the old stuff. I'm going to be judged by my fiance relentlessly by this.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's perfect. Any recommendations for this week? Any things you think people would like or enjoy?
I have I have a recommendation, but it's not like actually something to watch or read.
Okay.
But it's tangential. It's close. I made an upgrade not too long ago where I got a bendable mounting arm for my tablet. Mm-hmm. And if nobody else has, if you own a tablet that you use for media and you haven't done this yet, that's my recommendation: is get yourself one. I currently am using it to hold up my phone, which I'm using as my webcam, so we can see each other and wave. Hi. But in a weird way, it is very much fulfilled like a childhood dream. I only, like, some people actually use tablets the way they're supposed to, as like mini computers, and I don't do that. Mine is purely for media. I keep everything off of it except for like Netflix, like DC Universe, that sort of thing. And it feels so incredibly fucking sci-fi to be able to go lay on my bed and swing this bendable arm with a screen attached around to go right above me and then be like, oh, I'm going to read a comic. No, I'm good. I'm just going to minimize that and like watch this on Netflix instead. And I have all of my media just hovering right above my face, and I don't even have to hold the screen up. I feel like
That's awesome.
I feel like someone out of a fucking sci-fi adventure that I'd read about or watch on TV as a kid, like every time I go into my room. And it's a weird, amazing feeling. So,
I was thinking about this all day because I wanted to do something similar to Digimon. So I want to do something anime, but I don't know anime very well anymore. I'm going to go with the My Hero Academia, and specifically the manga.
okay.
Because I know a lot of people that watch the anime, and they say great things about it, and I'm sure it's good, but I don't know many people who have read the comic, and that artist is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is such a beautiful manga, and it really deserves its own recognition that it's not getting because the cartoon is so good, too. So that's it. Like, it's a manga superhero academy, and it's just great. That's all on my side. It's a simple one.
All right.
I mean, I talked a little bit about like Lore Olympus on Webtoons, and I really recommend that. And then as well as Darwin's Game on Crunchyroll. Those are two that I have. Lord Olympus is still updating. Darwin's Game just finished their most recent season, and so that'll be like a quick 11 episode watch. And so those are two that I really recommend. I liked them a lot.
Yay. Awesome.
Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised I didn't have any.
Is there anywhere people can find you online? Anything that you do that you want to brag about?
Yeah,
please do so.
My Instagram for my cosplay is Tiffany and cosplay. It's all just spelled out phonetically. And then it goes same for Patreon, which I should be launching sometime at the end of the month.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. We should probably get on that Patreon thing ourselves.
Oh,
yeah.
We were talking about it, and then COVID hit, and, well, fucking COVID.
Yeah,
And then
COVID
hit.
put a lot of plans on hold.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see, for our stuff, God, it'd be great if everyone out there listening right now would just hit subscribe.
Yeah, the world is run on algorithms, and we will show up more in the algorithms. If you subscribe, leave us a review. 5-star reviews make us pop up more, but really any review is going to be helpful for us. I still maintain that my first hate letter that I receive, I will read live on the podcast.
I'm kind of disappointed that nobody sent us a hate letter yet.
Like, listen, today might be our day because we talked about Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
female Vikings.
We talked some shit today.
And I talked about naked figures.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can always check out the entire back catalog over on our website, www.generalnerdcast.com. While you're over on the website, you can contact us through there or by emailing us, generalnerderypod at gmail.com. At the website, if you click the links up at the top, we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network. You can go check out all the other shows on the network. Listen to me talk about horror movies over on Fried Squirms. Listen to Zach talk about war and war gaming and war philosophy over on The Art of Wargaming. And more things to come as we continue to gradually work our way through COVID. I think we would have more things up already if it wasn't for that little fact. But there are things in the works that will be coming. So, am I missing anything?
We're your... No, I think that's the basic. Oh, you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. I think we might finally have an Instagram.
I set up an Instagram. We're on Instagram.
Yeah.
We have an Instagram. We have been talking about that for almost 6 months now.
I was like, we should probably screenshot this and just check out our workspace today.
No doubt.
In the meantime, I think that's it.
I think that's it,
You
too.
can tell that we're professionals at this. We're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Tiffany.
Dismiss.